just to prove that you're able. We build, not break.
Every point that we make,
Let it breathe.
let it land, give and take.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, looks like okay. Looks like it's good. Yeah, I was saying that I won't be able to do a stream tomorrow. I won't be able to do a stream tomorrow, so here I am doing a stream tonight. All right, just streaming tonight because I have to do something. I got to help out family tomorrow, so why not stream today? So I figured I'm gonna do a TikTok debate. Right? This is always fun. Right? I think it's always fun to do a bit of a TikTok debates. So, if you guys, I don't know, it's hard to see, right? It's a little bit hard to see. If you could see it, my first prompt: keep the West America predominantly white or white Christians. If you have a disagreement, I'm willing to have a conversation. Number two, racism isn't the black community's problem anymore, or it's isn't the biggest problem in the black community anymore. The white man isn't your enemy anymore. Okay. Number three, black people have become the very people they complain about. I think I bet $50 the fourth guy screams that. Maybe. I mean, I think these topics will trigger some people, so we'll see. We'll see. Number four, I think the Democrats, the left, need minorities to stay victims. They need to feel like they're oppressed. That's how the Democrats, the left, will keep their voting block. They need minorities, they need women to feel like they're oppressed, to feel like they're victims. That's how the Democrats keep their voting base. Number five, black people are a bigger problem in the black community than white people are. All right. If you guys have, I guess this is kind of a racial topics, triggering. All right. But I mean, if you want to, if you have an opinion, don't matter what race you are. I'm pretty sure we'll have some white liberals come up wanting to defend, but we'll see. I don't even know what you are talking about. If you could read, you would see what I know. What you would see, you would know what I'm talking about. These are the prompts, right? If you prove me wrong, if you disagree, if you agree, I mean, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then I guess you can't really have much of an argument. What is like? Please tell me what was rude. I really don't understand. Do you even understand what being rude means? Sorry, I'm I just live Mexicans too. I don't know what that means. No tacos for you. I guess I feel like you love your brothers in white. To be honest, this is the thing where a lot of people these do this, right? Um, I know no white person in real life. Okay, I don't even live in a white community. I live in a black community. I work in a black community. I'm surrounded by black people. I see pretty much no white people in my day to day. So I don't care really about white people. I really don't. Do you even see Klan members anymore? It's like please tell me what are Klan members affecting you day to day? I mean, like it's ridiculous. And this is another insanity, right? Another insanity of modern day, let's say modern day black people. How is the Klan affecting your life today? It's like this is why I said this, right? Black people are a bigger problem in the black community than white people are. You are more likely to be killed by a black person than you are by a white person. So really, you care about the Klan so much. Why? What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hello. So what's your disagreements?
I don't think America was ever like set up to be a white supremacist country, you know? We've kind of moved past that a little bit.
Well, here's my thing, right? Where America, I wouldn't say supremacist, but America has it. You know, it was settled by white people, majority white people. That's why the population of America is majority white.
Well, they didn't really think of themselves as white.
I
They thought of
know
themselves
it's a modern day
as
social construct. I don't disagree with that. This is why I also put like white Christians, right? It's part of the, you know, I here's the thing why I say that, okay? Because you look at most countries on earth. Usually people would want to move to UK, America, Canada, or any of the Nordic countries, all predominantly white countries. So
well,
there's got to be a
the
reason.
thing about it. Well, the thing about it is like if you're saying that America should be like how it was when it was founded, you'd only allow
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Anglo-Saxon and
Yeah, not what I'm
Protestants.
saying. Definitely not what I'm saying. I love one thing about America that it's very open to diversity. I love a lot of white countries, predominantly white countries. They are very open to diversity.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
I'm not advocating for let's just completely kick out anyone that's not white. That's not what I'm saying.
but I mean, like, you know, I don't see what the problem you would have with modern America then would be then. You know, if that's the case.
Well, okay, let me give you an example, right? So we have, let's say, the UK. Again, I'm not, I use the UK as a kind of an example where a lot of cities, particularly, I think London, they are shrinking in their white population, where minorities are now almost, I believe, I mean, I could be corrected on this. This is last I heard, but I believe that minorities are actually overtaking the white population in London. So you see that the difference, the changes, right? And that's what I'm saying. Okay.
The
And
thing is-
you see an uptick in violence, you see an uptick in crime, you see an uptick in a lot of different things. So that's where I see that. Yes, I don't yeah, America's not like that, but I mean it could come down that road. So that's why, that's why I have a kind of view like that.
But London has always been, pretty multicultural. You know, it's been like this. The idea of an English person is sort of a new concept as well. Like a British person, like British people have always been multicultural because they're made up of, the native British and the Romans and the Angles and the Saxons and the Jutes and the Scottish. You know, so they've always been this idea that there's like a pure like race or something out there where that
Well,
has to be maintained forever is, I think, a fictional thing.
well, I mean, like again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that there's an increase, there's an uptick in not British-born people, but an uptick in immigrants and or illegal immigrants. So citizens that are not born in the UK, particularly in London. So
Yes.
again, that is a combined with already their which is yeah, that's fine, right? They're already diverse populace. Literally anyone that is white oriented or white skinned is
Yeah.
pretty much shrinking. And I'm in my opinion, what I've seen, and I've lived in the UK, right? And I've had plenty of people born in UK complain about immigrants, illegal immigrants. So you're seeing the difference, the violence, the the issues that they face. It will be a problem because you're getting an uptick of people who don't assimilate. Now, yes, British people who are minorities, they have assimilated, they become British, right? But there's an uptick of people that don't assimilate, right? And they are increasing in numbers because you also have British born who are reproducing less while immigrants or illegal immigrants are producing a lot more. Like some native born British are maybe having one kid while illegal immigrants or immigrants coming in with 3 to 4 kids. So they're outpacing them in birth. And so there's some speculations that, in the next couple of decades, they will pretty much be dominated by, immigrant population, not, born or heritaged British people. And I think that could lead to a problem.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like they are a monolith, the immigrants coming to England. It's not like they're all a specific race that is then going to engage in racial politics or something like that. They're all just like South Indian and coming there, and then they actually do assimilate over a couple generations, as far as I'm aware. I mean, it was never expected that they'd assimilate within one generation. It takes a while to assimilate into England.
Well, the thing is that, like, you imagine this, right? With today, what are they assimilating to? Where, like I'm saying, the actual British culture is disappearing because there's more immigrants than ever before. I believe, like, I don't know, over 10 million immigrants. So if they're outpacing the birth rate of actual British citizens, what are they assimilating to? They're pretty much just increasing their own culture in another culture. So that's something that no one talks about because again, British born, they're not outpacing their own, they're not reproducing, or their birth rates aren't, replacing their own. So you don't have a culture that can sustain this actual culture. So new people to assimilate to, and that could be a danger.
I think the general idea is that you can sort of keep your own culture, but you just have to follow all the laws and the rules and all this sort of stuff. But I do think that they do adopt English culture after a few generations, quote unquote English culture, right? But English culture in general is a hodgepodge of different things. The Angles, Saxons.
I agree, but it's
British.
It's still more like even the cultures that are hodgepodge. It's still it's still white people, right? Different versions of white people.
Yeah, but when we're talking about, for example, Anglo-Saxon Germans, like the Anglo-Saxon Germanic tribes that came from that settled Eastern Britannia when the Romans left, like they were a very, very distinct people than both the Romans and the native British, the Brythonic people. So it's like saying that they're all just white people. That was a very new concept, like
I do agree.
modern.
That's why I am oversimplifying it because here's my thing, right? Where let's say the Anglo-Saxon British, right, is I'm not saying that they're exactly the same, but the difference isn't the same thing as let's say a British person to a Chinese person or a British person to a Muslim person. That is drastically different from, let's say, a British person to a Scottish person. Right? I'm not saying they're exactly the same, but there are more similarities than differences, in the sense that let's compare a Muslim to a white Christian, Anglo-Saxon, whatever. There are worlds apart, right?
I don't know.
Different cultures, different perspective, different values, different outlooks in life. And that's the danger I'm talking about, right? Again, why do I say, keep Western countries or America predominantly white and white Christians? It's the values, right? Because if we wanted to, let's say, if we wanted to move to, any Middle Eastern countries, we could have, or China, or any of these countries. But predominantly, most people move to Western white countries because it's usually the values they presented, usually the ideals they represent, particularly modern day. They are the most open, the most welcoming of most communities. That's why you see the most diversity in these types of countries, right?
Sure.
So, but then that's the thing where, and again, this is only assumptions, stipulations, or certain scientists may say that things could change. So I'm just I'm just going by that, where we have certain things where I don't think it's. I see so many people hate on America because it's white, or any of these countries because it's white. But that's the problem, right? We are hating on these countries because it's predominantly white, and that's where these countries are amazing for a reason, right? And I think at the core of it, it's because of their white or white Christians that have welcomed so many people, right? So I hate that we hate the very thing that welcomed us to these countries.
The thing about it is like saying that if you take England, for example, I mean, we can take any Western country. England was originally populated by Celts who spoke Brythonic language. Then they were conquered by the Romans who spoke a Latin language, who were pagans, and then once they left, a whole new group of people, the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes, came in and they spoke a Germanic. They were Germanic and were a pagan. So, like, the difference between a Brythonic Celt and a Roman and a Germanic is very, very different between, say, like a secularized Western Muslim has way, 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 way more in common with secularized modern Englishmen than, say, Roman Britain and a Welsh or something like that.
Is there such thing as a secular Muslim?
Well, there's like Turkish people. Turks are Muslim, secular Muslims, and Muslims in general certainly come and then they sort of lose their Muslim faith. I mean, like, not all of them are strict adherents to the religion.
Yeah, I mean, the people who lose their, let's say, culture or religion, I'm not talking about those people, right? That's not really, because those people would assimilate better because they're not hold on to certain past ideals. Okay, I'm not saying that, right? But I don't believe that's the general people who are going into these countries. Plus, like I said, right, I'm not just saying, oh, let's I'm not saying necessarily just stop immigration, stuff like that. I'm just saying that, like, we constantly neglect the like I was saying, that I just think that the whole ideal with racism today, which is a lot of these prompts, because we constantly dog out the white man today, which I do recognize history. I've said this countless times before. I don't ignore the ugly history of, let's say, white people. I don't. But so many people are shackled to the history, and they blame modern day white people for that. And I just think that's I just think that's not right. And again, I don't care if white people like me or not. That's not the point. What the point is that all these countries, right? I love America because it's giving me the life that I'm living. It's giving me the freedoms, the opportunities that I have. To see people who hate America, who say America's terrible, who say any of these, pretty much these white countries are terrible, mainly because they're white. I just think it's stupid and disingenuous and idiotic.
I don't typically hear any serious critiques about America as being like people are having a problem with America because it's quote unquote a white country. Because all of South America, you could say a lot of South America and Central America, you could say is varying degrees of white. Europe is white. I think people dislike America because of certain imperial designs or the I think America is best when it's just integrating lots of people, taking the best from all over the world and integrating them into society, irrespective of their race and stuff like that. That's kind of the tradition that America has had for the last 100 years at least. I think that's sort of this Roman model, the Roman Empire type of taking the best of the best and integrating them and Americanizing them. And so I think like this whole idea that America or the West, I think the white arguments is a little bit of a misnomer.
I mean, I don't disagree that necessarily. Here, I'll probably use social media as the basis, right? I mean, yeah, I do agree that social media is a different world compared to the real world. I can see that, right? So maybe I base things on social media. So I'll definitely preference my argument with that. But I also gotta say, right? I don't disagree with you, but I do have a caveat that are we actually taking in the best of the best nowadays? It's not like it. I don't think we are doing that anymore. All right, I really don't, and I think that we're just taking anyone nowadays just to, I don't know, fill up a voter block because I just think that it's hurting our country more than it's helping us because we're just taking in whatever nowadays, right? And that's yeah, I would be fine with us taking like good people, moral people, smart people, hardworking people. I have no problem with that. But I think that's part of why we should be more. We should vet better because I think we are taking in a lot of terrible people, right? So, you know,
Well, my understanding is we're taking in lots of South Asians into, those guys are very educated, they have very good education.
yeah.
South Americans come and, have very low crime rates and assimilate very well, speak a very similar language to English and have a shared culture and religion. So I don't see where the bad
Thank you for
people are
charging.
coming from,
Well, I
like
mean,
Sub-Saharan Africa or something.
no, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on any particular place, right? I'm more like we should have a better vetting system, or, we should stick to a vetting system. This is why I'm definitely always against illegal immigration because you're not vetting nobody, right? When you just allow people here illegally, uh, and sometimes people who abuse the asylum system, right? And that's we can't vet, hundreds of thousands of people because they use the asylum system. So that's I'm not again, yeah. Again, I'm not saying that we aren't letting good people in or good citizens, good future citizens in. I'm not saying that, but you know, this is why one I am definitely for deportation of illegal immigrants. And
But if
but
someone's like an illegal immigrant, they can come here, they can get sort of a very limited, a way to work, basically get an asylum pass, and then they can work. Like, why is that such an important thing? It's not like they're getting, citizenship or anything anytime soon. They're coming to work. They're contributing to the system. They're putting money into the tax system and the healthcare system and all this stuff. I don't see why like necessarily an illegal, quote unquote, illegal immigrant. These guys are still pretty much
well,
under
that's
surveillance.
your assumption, right? That you're assuming that because I think I mean, again, you can always correct me if I'm wrong with any stats. I believe in Minnesota the Somali, you know, immigration. I think what fifth over like about 50 or over 50% of them are on government assistance. Why would I why would I support anything that, we bring people in, and they're just using our system instead of actually adding to our system more. Right? We shouldn't be taking people in that need government assistance. No, we should be taking in people that actually contribute to the system instead of just draining the system. Right? I believe that there are certain, and again, I also think that the UK is experiencing that, or what is it? It was one of the Nordic countries where they completely had to stop immigration at all completely because their societal structure, infrastructure couldn't handle it because again, these people were completely abusing the structure, right? The system, like healthcare, any kind of welfare system. So they're not like, taking up construction work. No, a lot of them are going in and just taking up any kind of welfare systems we have, particularly in UK or any of the European countries.
I know I've seen, like, for example, Sweden and Denmark have said that, after certain generations, the Middle Eastern populations are net negative contributors to the system, but the difference over there is they have a more robust welfare system. Like in America, if you come here illegally, you can't really get welfare at all. You can't really get welfare. So you're basically working under the table, and you basically have to work to survive if you're an illegal immigrant in America. That's like the big distinction between Europe and America are not the same.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, there are some that are using our healthcare system because you can't turn away a person even if they're a legal immigrant. But in the system, they can't even pay for it. So they use our healthcare. They can't pay for it. Guess who's paying for it? Taxpayers. Okay, and also they could even, let's say you said under the table. Well, that literally depreciates wages. Paying people under the table depreciates wages, so they don't have to pay a American-born worker. They can just pay an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, but
that's not a net. That's not a net positive.
Well, the jobs that these migrants take in America, those are not being filled by local-born workers. They're basically
I've heard that argument from. I'm not saying that you are, right? I'm not saying that you are because I don't know your party affiliation, but I've heard that plenty from the left. And here's the thing: we have people working at McDonald's. We have people doing really terrible jobs, or I'm not saying terrible jobs, but low-paying jobs. Or we have people who are homeless, bro. I mean, like I think I forgot what the number, but we have I don't know, over 1 million people unemployed, right? To say that they wouldn't do it is just because we don't bother putting people in those positions, right? People would rather just pay them less than, pay more for actual born Americans, right? I believe that if you're paying, to be honest, if I don't know, picking, if you're paying someone to pick fruit, $20 an hour, I'm pretty sure there would be plenty of people who would do that. Right, particularly people without education, maybe high school students, maybe current college students. I don't know, but it's that. But if you're paying an illegal $10 an hour or less, then yeah, no American's gonna want to do that job. But you rather just pay an illegal immigrant to do their job. Again, because it's a counterproductive argument where I hear plenty of people on your sides like, oh, we need to raise wages. What, for Starbucks workers? But God dang, how dare we would want to raise wages for, I don't know, a cotton picker or, someone who works on a farm. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? You want to raise wages for people who work in, indoor, AC places, but not someone who works in the field. It's counterproductive argument.
Well, my understanding is that, they need these workers. Like if you were to cut off the labor, the illegal labor to these farms, the farms basically need people living on the farms basically to work a lot of these jobs. Like you're going to have a hard time bringing some 18-year-old who would prefer to work at McDonald's because he can just go hang out near where he lives and go work. Like I don't think McDonald's is that terrible of a job. Like I think a lot of them would prefer to work at McDonald's, as opposed to living on basically a farm in the middle of nowhere to to go pick work in really bad tough conditions. I just don't think it's realistic that people go work those jobs. And if you were to pay them higher wages, pay people higher wages, the farms would just go out of business. Like they just collapse, and you'd have shocks to basically the whole economy.
I mean, I kind of don't necessarily agree. I'm maybe in the short term, probably. I mean, maybe, but it's like this is the thing where, at the end of the day, we do have millions of people unemployed. They're not even working at McDonald's. Right? We have.
I think the number's very low. I think the unemployed, numbers are pretty small these days. I don't know. I don't know the number though.
7.4 million.
Okay. Yeah, that's really not a lot. I mean, how many of those unemployed people are?
And so, but let me say this,
strung
right? 7.4 million. I mean, like how about if we got rid of, the illegal immigrants and you gave them the jobs, right? I mean, like even if I believe that if we had 7.4 million doing the jobs that the illegal immigrants were doing, I think it would, be better.
You think it's not realistic to say, oh, some unemployed guy in a city in the Northeast is going to go move to, Texas or Iowa to go pick fruit? Like it just is logistically not realistic to advocate something like that.
Why? Because here's my thing: where if we put like these welfare programs, you have to have a job to get even a little bit of welfare. I mean, and then I've seen that where, let's say, the unemployment, you have to be looking for a job, and if they give you this, if you don't find a job, they will cut off unemployment benefits. I mean, to say it's not realistic, I mean, like I just here's my thing, right? I personally don't promote like, okay, let's promote lazy ass unproductive adults. I just don't, right? Because I drive around my city and see people drugged up and just just doing nothing. So to be honest, it's like, I'd rather people be working, making things with their life and money. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. I mean, I just kind of view it like it's like if you're some strung out homeless guy, like your problems, they've already tried. This guy's already had so many job opportunities in his life to get, which he's turned down before, throwing his life away to be on the street and just being strung out. Like I doubt you're going to motivate him to go work one of the most laborious jobs in the world.
It's not like I don't understand, but my also thing is that I rather we try, right? I rather because there was a point in time where America was very productive, right? Our manufacturing jobs, our factory jobs, like we didn't have a huge amount of homeless, we didn't have a huge amount of drugged up people, we didn't have a huge amount of unemployed people, and people were doing these laborious jobs. I think that there was a point in time where there were corporations that started firing people and start hiring illegal immigrants or outsourcing their jobs to other countries. Because I mean, like, I don't know about you, but plenty of times you go on the phone, you're talking to someone outside of the country. So even that, it's like, I can give you other examples, right? It's not just, we're using the laborers' jobs, but there are plenty of other jobs that aren't laborious, but we're still outsourcing it, So yes, laborers' jobs are terrible or they don't sound appetizing, but there are plenty of other jobs that we do outsource, that we do hire immigrants or illegal immigrants that's not as laborious, right? But we don't use Americans because it's cheaper.
The thing is, if you well, the guy in the comments, please, I'll answer the phone for half the cost the Indian will. Well, so you'd answer the phone for how much they get paid, like $1? You're not gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, right? I would say that's unrealistic. But I mean, again, I believe in Americans being productive. I believe in citizens being more productive than letting someone else. Because this is the thing. One thing I've always been critical of Trump is I want him to focus inside of America rather than outside, because I want Americans to do better. Right? I want us to focus on ourselves, America, and for us to do better, and then we can focus on the rest of the world. We have an unemployment thing. We have, people are, saying things are costly and all this stuff. Well, I just think that, if if more of us are working, if more of us are, contributing, productive, I think it definitely helps our economy.
Yeah, yeah. I actually have to. I actually have to run. I got to run right now.
Thank you for talking. Thank you for talking.
It was good.
Love it.
Yes, good talk. Good talking to you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, brother. Thank you guys for being here. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to do like probably one at a time for conversations to be flow better, right? For it to be a little bit more respectful. If it's if it's like one at a time. But I mean, I'm definitely, if you guys want to, if you guys disagree. I mean, I saw some people disagreeing in the comment section. I'm sorry I didn't bring you up right away, because so many people talking, it will bog down the conversation, right? I don't want us arguing over each other, right? It's easier for me if like I let you talk, you let me talk, instead of someone else interrupting you or maybe interrupting me. So that's how I want to go about it. If you guys want to come up, you definitely can. If you guys have any disagreements, right? Any disagreements, right? Any opposing opinions, come on. Right? I'm always down. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Please check out my my TikTok. Please check out my YouTube channel as well. If you don't mind, if you like the content, please help support me. Oh, but like I was saying before, tomorrow I won't be doing a live on my YouTube because I'm probably going to be busy helping a family. So this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here today. If you want to have a conversation, if you guys disagree, come on. I'm always whether to talk, right? I mean, I said this before, right? I'm not doing any of this for white validation. I really don't know white people in real life. All right. I don't really know any white people in real life. I don't interact with white people in real life. Knowing white people or getting white people's validation doesn't help me at all. Self-made black. Thank you. I watched your video about the black culture. What do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Okay. What is up? What is up? What's your thoughts? What's your disagreements?
Let me finish reading. I disagree with all of them.
Okay, well then let's get started, right? Number one, keep the West, which includes a lot of the Western countries, and America predominantly white or white Christians.
Are you a Christian?
No.
Wait, do you agree with the topics?
I do. I'm neither white nor am I Christian. I don't mean keep it 100% white or white Christians, right? Here's my let me explain my argument then, so you can understand. So, I believe that in general, right, most people, they immigrate or they move to white countries, right? Out of all the countries you can move to,
what is a white country?
UK, Canada, any of the Nordic countries,
But what
America,
makes it a white country? That's what I'm asking.
It's the race is predominantly white, right? The population is predominantly white.
Okay.
Just like Africa is an African continent, any African country in there is it's pretty much a black country. China, it's pretty much what dominates the racial population that dominates that country. And I just, again, like I believe, right? I'm neither white nor Christian, but I'd rather live in a predominantly white country or a white Christian country than any other country on this earth. And we see that with how people migrate or, move around this world. Most people, they immigrate to white countries. We don't, people aren't, clamoring to move to China, any parts in Africa, any parts in the Middle East. So, there's a reason why we desire to move to these countries. A lot of these countries has given, because in America alone, we have produced more millionaires or more six figures or more middle class races than any other country on this, any other nation on this earth. Right? There are more black millionaires in America than all of Africa.
Right? I don't think that's true. Can I get a source?
Okay.
But like when we implemented race into any system, like can you give me an example where if we focus on race as a, what word should I use? Like if we use race as a deciding situation, like in what examples, like what moments in history have we ever benefited from that?
Wait, explain it.
So do you think that race is a real thing or a social concept?
It's a social construct.
Yeah. So in what ways, when we implement race into systems, like as you're saying, we should try to keep America predominantly one race. Like how has that ever helped us in any point in history?
I don't get it. What do you mean, how has it helped us in any point in history?
Has focusing on race in a systematic way helped society?
Has focusing on race helped anyone in society? Again, I'm not. Okay, I mean, yes, I'm talking about race,
Yeah.
but I mean, no, I think it's neither helped us or hurt us.
And that's untrue.
Okay, how?
What about slavery and even
this is a thing
that helped us?
Let's say this, right? I'm not saying that it's a great thing. I'm not talking about slavery as a great thing.
Where are you going with this?
Okay, if you let me finish, then I would. Right? If you let me finish, then I would. I'm not saying that slavery is a great thing. Okay, but I'm saying that today. Please tell me how slavery is affecting your life today.
Oh, it created a financial gap, an economic difference.
Okay, well, let's say this, right? Asian families are outdoing white families. Your financial difference means what?
Wait, so it does not matter, because I don't think that Asians went through chattel slavery. No.
Yeah, but we're coming.
But can I finish? I gotta let you finish. So you have all these black impoverished people because they weren't able to build. Even after slavery ended, we have Jim Crow and segregation. They still were not able to build, what is it called? Like family wealth. So there's a difference in the economy when we get to races. So you're saying, how is this impacting people's lives? Well, maybe if slavery didn't happen, these people wouldn't be poor and they wouldn't be in these situations they're in now.
So you're saying there's no black millionaires or black middle class?
Did I never said that, did I?
No, but see,
the exception isn't the standard at whatsoever. So you can sit here and name Oprah or Beyonce, but the average black American is not neither of them.
But please tell me, how is the average black American, right? What's stopping them from achieving greatness? Because you say slavery is stopping them? How? You can create generational wealth with one generation. Only one.
Then,
you can
how many generations do you think slavery lasted for then?
No, but your mom could have created generational wealth. Your grandma could have created generational wealth.
If it was that easy, don't you think it would have happened?
Do you know
and be
why?
honest here. Because 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
So it can't be that easy to create generational wealth.
Here's the thing.
Especially when you had a setback.
Let's be honest. I hear people who say they earn six figures and they still say they live in paycheck to paycheck. So that I'll take it with a grain of salt, right? And let me say this, right? Why I say that it takes one generation, because immigrants are doing it. Hell, African immigrants are doing that, right? Asian immigrants, they're doing that.
Again, I don't think that Asians went through chattel slavery, right?
But you're literally not telling me how chattel slavery has stopped any black person today.
Same with Same with immigrants as well. When we're like, I don't think that like, and again, and I just gave it. So, do you think slavery created an economic gap?
Yeah, for generations, but not for modern day generation.
Oh
Right?
my
Because
gosh. Okay, so when we
please,
include Jim Crow, did that further the financial gap?
no, because during Jim Crow,
What?
but listen, right? During Jim Crow, there's actual studies that's proving that black communities were actually rising in economics.
And they got destroyed.
Yeah, but
And
I'm
they
not,
got
but literally, I just proved
so,
it
so
that
they
they
don't
were
count.
doing
They didn't
better.
help.
But they were
And they
doing
got
better
destroyed.
economically. They were doing better economically during Jim Crow. They're doing worse than people during Jim Crow. They're doing worse now, right? The black community is doing worse now as a whole than the black community during Jim Crow economically.
And
Right?
where can I research this at? What source is this?
Oh, and Forbes, right? Forbes was the one who said that yes, the United States has the highest number of black millionaires in the world. Right?
What is Forbes?
You know what Forbes is?
Spell it out, please.
Okay, Forbes, FORBS, BES.
Okay. But yeah, like I don't like. So what would be the benefits of having a predominantly white Christian nation?
Well, here's the thing, right? It's the values, right? It's the mindset. Okay, I've said this before, where there's no other country on earth, right? I mean, I literally just said that thanks to America, and again, I've said this countless times before. I don't disregard the ugly history of America or any white nation. I don't disregard that, right? That's why I acknowledge it, but I also don't shackle my argument to that. I view people today, right? No, nothing is stopping any black person getting education, saving, budgeting, investing, right? Being frugal, spending their money correctly. Nothing is stopping any black person today.
You know that's untrue because
Prove it. How is it untrue?
There are people in every race that don't have the same resources as another person might. So I'm not saying that it's black people who don't have the same resources. No, it's plenty of people worldwide that are being stopped from pursuing the things you just said.
I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm talking right here in America. I'm talking about in the West. Please tell me what's stopping you. What's stopping? What's stopping people? Because literally, what you're talking to.
Okay,
the phone you're talking
back
to.
My...
The phone you're talking to is what literally can give you the freedoms that you're talking about. You can learn to invest. You can learn to save. You can learn to budget with your phone alone.
As light as you're making it seem like.
It really is. You don't have to.
It's not, because if it was as easy as you just said, there wouldn't be women in other countries who are denied of education.
Please
so
don't. Again, I'm not talking
and
about.
Even then,
show me a country in the West
who can't afford to go to children in America.
Like where? Right? Where's your source?
What that? Wait, so I need a source to tell you that.
You literally asked me for sources, and now I can't.
You said statistics. You're saying statistics,
but
right?
You're also giving an opinion, right? So is your just
wait?
What you believe?
I need an opinion. I need a source for an opinion.
No. I'm asking you. So you're just an opinion. I mean, you don't know it's true. That's what you just believe.
I'll start googling then, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, in my opinion, right? So I'll say this. I'll preface my opinion. I don't believe that anyone is stopping anybody from achieving at least the best they can achieve. Right? I don't believe that. I would love an example. I'm very open-minded. I can be proven wrong, and I'm not going to cry that I'm proven wrong.
So I can give an even. So wait, what's your claim again?
That anybody, particularly anyone in the black community, right, is being stopped from achieving anything in life.
Wait, so people. What's holding you back? So nothing. The black community has nothing holding them back from achieving greatness.
I could tell you this, right? What's actually holding black people back is my fifth statement, right? Black people are a bigger problem in the black community than white people. So what's holding you back is probably, let's say, the people in your hood, the people in your neighborhood. I don't know, the supposed friends you have, right? They badly influence you. Maybe terrible parents, maybe a single household, right? those are probably holding you back more than the white man is.
Okay. Here's my source for the school statement. It is called NASFA. Low-income students cannot afford 95% of colleges. But to get back to what we were just talking about, I just think poverty. Oh, this gets back to my original claim that slavery and with Jim Crow created a financial gap. Jim Crow was nothing but like 80 years ago. Do you really think that after like 480 years of oppression that one person just can build a financial can reach that gap that was created?
They can make the start of it, right? So
But that's not
let me
that.
give you a
That's not that.
hypothetical, right? Where let's
Can you
say
answer my
happily
question, please?
what?
Can you answer my question?
Your question is,
Being
can you
realistic.
said one person? Yes,
Being
I one person
realistic.
could.
What?
What?
So let me be more specific. Let me be more specific. One black person, and let's not make it seem like that when Jim Crow ended, everyone just stopped being racist. Systematic racism just erased from history. From that time period, we know it continued to perpetuate within society and laws. So after
She's probably talking to someone else. Here's my thing where I this is the problem where, and I love the black community, and this is probably where the black community could actually learn from, okay? And they move away from it. You can help out each other. I don't disagree. Maybe during Jim
back
Crow.
to it though.
Okay, go ahead.
What was I saying? Oh, like yeah, if we're being honest here, we know that racism did not just end immediately when Jim Crow ended. We still know it was exhibited within society. So one black man, well, woman, 80 years is all, and you can't even say 80 years for, because what are they going to do out of 10-year-old to create financial wealth? So let's say they started at 30 and then from then on to 80 for 50 years. Do you really think that's all it would take? And do you think the average black person in that time period could have gapped that financial difference?
Here's my thing, right? I said I think they can start it, right? So how they start is maybe your grandparents,
That's
right?
not an answer to the question.
It actually is, because it's a start.
If either
Right?
they could
You
have
have
or
to
they
start.
couldn't have.
They could. They could.
So the
Okay, fine.
average
They could.
black person during Jim Crow era could in 50 years could have reached the gap that was set with 400 years.
I mean,
And
what
you truly, I mean, how
you
does that?
okay?
Come on, you're being deceptively honest here.
No. And
You
I can
are.
literally prove it to you, right? So let's say hypothetically, right? Your grandparents, they open a business, they own a home, right? Boom. A business and a home is already economic value. If they pass that down, right, to your parents, right? Even though maybe each of it is cost, you could say 50 grand each or 100 grand each. That's already a start of economic value, right? Then your parents add on to it a mother and a father, both
Average
your
black American
father
can
and your
open a
mother.
business and get a house in Jim Crow era. The average black American can open a business. The average
Are you
American
saying
right
that
now
there was
can't
no
even.
houses, that black
No,
people didn't own houses during Jim Crow?
you're not being honest here. The average black American during Jim Crow era could have opened a business and bought a house. The average American now cannot even afford a house.
Okay, no,
Right.
no, are you being dishonest? So by your opinion, or
And
by
even
your
you're talking about
no,
buying
please listen.
houses
But
when
I let you talk.
redlining. Do you know what
Please.
redlining exists? Do you know what that is?
I do, but I'm saying no. You're saying
Okay,
that
then.
could they own a house? Could they own a house?
Who own?
Could
black
black
people
people
own
own
a
a
house?
house
During
during Jim Crow?
most,
Please, could they own a house?
I don't know. You telling me? Probably.
They could.
Probably.
Yes, right. They could own a house, and they could create businesses within these red
The
line
average
communities.
black American.
Yes. Okay.
Oh my
red
God.
line. Who's owning these houses in these red line communities?
What?
You said red line, right? That's
Yeah.
literally segregating communities, correct?
Yeah.
Red line is
essentially.
segregating of communities. Okay. Do you believe that they're living in the streets or they're living in houses during those times?
I don't know. Take a wild guess.
They're living in houses.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously.
So so they live in those houses. They maintain those houses. They buy those houses. Black people weren't living in the streets during Jim Crow. They had houses. Okay. So this is the thing where we could pass down generational wealth is that you're passing down something. You're passing down something.
Wait, every
Usually
black
it's
person in redlining didn't own their house. They're
I'm not
probably
I didn't say every person, right? But I'm saying it's
paying rent or paying mortgage. So again, I just want to clarify this. You think the average black American during Jim Crow could buy a house and start a business?
you could start a business in your community. I mean,
That's
like
oh my
literally,
gosh,
I see
that's not
people,
what this
I
asks
see black
for.
people
And
starting
then
business today.
we see what happens when black people start their own communities. Like we have the Tulsa Race Massacre. That's one example where the villages are raided and destroyed. So do you think that they would have let that happen?
You know, here's the thing where this is my problem, right? You are used. I said this, right? I don't disagree of the ugly history of
You do,
America. I
though.
100% don't disagree. But
You do.
what I hate is the victimhood mentality, shackling yourself to because you think about this, right? Your mentality. If it like, let's say it goes to the younger generation, right? I don't know how old you are, but let's say the younger generation. In their minds, like I can't achieve anything because you know what? Racism. I can't achieve anything because the white
When
man's
I
always
never
put me down.
said anything like that,
But you are
though.
pushing, like literally.
Wait, what
What
have
you're
I
saying,
said
right?
that has pushed that?
I
Can you just
said
give
that
me?
you could achieve greatness. No one is holding you back. You are pretty much
And
giving
I said
examples
poverty
for
is just a common example of that.
poverty is everyone. There's white people. There's actually more poor white people
Oh,
than
and
there are poor
I
black
said
people.
that as well. I said
Yeah,
that
so poverty is
worldwide there are things stopping people from achieving greatness.
no.
So not just black people.
Even
I've
if
said that.
again, right? There's plenty of people who's been poor and achieved better. But life is not. It's
The
a common
exception is
thing
the
that life
rule.
is just not fair. I definitely stand on that. But again, a lot of things I said, right? It's not poverty I'm talking about. I'm just talking about, the white man
Wait,
is
are
not
you
stopping
black?
me. I'm Asian. Yes. So I'm not saying that anything is stopping you. Okay. Even if you're poor, you work hard, you get an education. Okay.
It's not
And
that easy. Like you're
I'm
just making
not
it
saying it's
seem like,
easy,
but
I'm saying
you
there's a
are
path.
though. You're just making it seem like it's 1, 2, 3 lemon squeezy duff. It was as easy as working hard and getting an education. People, if we wouldn't have so many poor people, so you cannot say that and then just try to continue with your argument. Like, yeah, you just have to work hard. No,
But do you know
it's
how
more than
people?
just working
But do
hard.
you
It's
know
a
how?
lot of things.
Did you know? But you do know that plenty of people don't work hard. Plenty of people don't even bother with an education.
You think poor people want to be in their situation?
I think poor people don't bother to change their situation.
So they want to be in their situation.
That's not the same thing. They don't.
Can
People
you just
don't want to
answer
be
the
poor.
question?
People
Like
don't
you're,
want to be poor.
like you're really trying to give nuanced
People-
answers to the
But this
what I'm
is.
asking you.
But
I'm
I
asking
said
you.
people don't want to be poor. But people
Yeah,
are lazy.
so don't you think they have been working hard?
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
They don't want
give me an
something,
example.
but they're gonna keep on providing a lifestyle where they will. What sense does this make now? Come on, man. So you really think poor people wake up every day and just are constantly trying to have the same lifestyle? Now there may be some, but if we're generally speaking, we know it's not all of them.
I never said it's all. I never said it's all. But I do
I didn't
believe.
say you said that. I'm just letting you know.
I do believe it's a good majority. Right? We have a education problem. People are not, educating themselves. People are not going to college. People are not, working hard for these jobs, right? We have a deficit in like trucking, a deficit in plumbing, electrical. We have deficit in blue collar jobs. So
I just told you 95. I just told you low income students can't afford 95% of college.
I said blue collar jobs. A plumber
But
doesn't need college.
you said college. You said that
I'm saying
people
I'm
aren't going
giving
to college.
many examples, right? Many
And
examples.
I just gave you an example for your example.
And again, okay, but that's just one. I'm giving you many, right? Like plumbing, electrical, like things that actually pay well, and you don't go into debt with a college degree, right? Plumbing, electrical, construction, all these other jobs, we do have a deficit of not enough workers in a lot of these blue collar jobs.
How does this contribute to your point exactly?
It contributes to my point because it's like what I said, right? You just said, I believe we have a lot of poor people. We have a lot of people who don't bother to change their life. They wanted the easier route rather than the harder route.
I mean, wouldn't you want the easy route? Like, I don't think
Yeah,
that's.
everyone do. I don't
I don't
disagree
think
with that.
no human would want to. I don't think most people would want to sit here and constantly endure what hardships. No, I think it's
I,
pretty common for someone to want easy route, especially when their life has been hard enough. Like, don't you think poor people have a hard enough life as it is? Not saying they should just look for the easy route, but hey, if it's granted to them, or
yeah,
every
I
once in
agree.
a while they try to get themselves a break,
I don't disagree. I mean, like, hell, I would love an easy route too. But
Right.
again, if I don't get the easy route, life is sucks. So I just have to go the hard route. That's just it.
Mhm.
But I think plenty of people, I'm not saying all, but personal opinion, I believe majority, if they don't get the easy route, they don't want anything out on any other route at all. That's how I believe. Right. I'm not saying I'm backing it with actual studies, but that's what my nuanced belief.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I would still have to disagree.
It's okay. I mean, thank you, respectful. You know, I always love conversation, so I get you disagree. I personally, I believe that it's. Let me say this, right? It's sad that you would, in the sense that I want people to understand that nothing is holding you back, even if you're
Oh,
poor,
we
even if you're
just
black.
went over this though.
Again, I know that you look. I'm saying, right? I understand you disagree. I say it's sad that you do, because I rather people believe that
Do
you know
you?
what. Yes, I rather believe that you know what. Being black doesn't hold me back. Being poor doesn't hold me back. Being whatever doesn't hold me back. As long as I
And I
work
wish we
smart,
lived in a
work hard.
society where that could be true, but in the society we live in, we know that's not true. You cannot tell a poor person that it's okay, just work hard, get an education, your life can turn around. Like,
I
it's
think that's
not that easy.
disingenuous.
Again, there are
No.
plenty of they can't even afford they can't even afford a house and the clean clothes on their back. But you're telling them to go to school and get a blue collar job. Like,
Well,
we
I
just know this
literally,
isn't true. There
I,
are plenty of things always holding someone back, whether mentally, the
yeah,
circumstance,
but that's yourself.
physically. Wait, would you tell a woman in an Islamic country who's trying to get an education but they can't get educations, would you tell her that she's holding herself back?
Okay, no. See, again, this is why I preference my argument. Right, I agree. There is something actually holding her back. I agree, but again, that's different here. I'm literally talking to a 23-year-old man, young black man, right? And I knew him for years. He didn't go. He pretty much sacrificed everything, took his nose to the books, became an engineer, right? And now he's making six figures and traveling the world, right?
So one person out of millions of black
But
people.
but look,
That's all
but the
it takes?
mindset. Listen to the mindset, right? It's the mindset. Not everyone's gonna make it. That's life. But it's if you have the mindset, at least you're already starting, right? And if everyone had your mindset, okay, it's just impossible or it's so difficult, it's so people will just give up. That's human. That's human mentality, right? If they think it's so hard, which you're
Well,
saying,
what are we then?
I'm saying it's human mentality, but we also have the mentality to overcome, right? So I rather have a different side where you know what, believe in yourself. Don't be shackled to whatever, right? Shackled to the difficulties, shackled to the problems, right? Overcome, because he come from a single family household, poverty, like, but he still overcome because he believed in himself. He didn't let nothing stop him, right? I rather more people think like him than more people think that it's just too hard, or I want something easy, or you know, the white man this, or I'm poor that, or whatever stopping me, right? Those are two different sides, and I'd rather people more think like what I'm saying than people think what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I would hope that, again, like I said, I wish we could live in a society where everything you're saying is true, where people never give up, and it is as easy as you're saying it is. That even though you grew up in a one-parent household and you've been struggling your whole life, it's okay. Just don't give up. Keep on going. But again, certain circumstances create certain mindsets. So you cannot expect a
agree.
poor person who's been constantly going through hardships to keep on having this landy dandy cotton and flower cotton
I'm
candy cloud mindset that they just gotta keep on trying
I'm
when society has clearly been against them.
I will say this, right? I mean, like, I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, it's, like an easy road. No, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail multiple times. You're gonna fail dozens of times. But I'd rather you fail trying than you not even try at all because you don't want to fail at all.
Wait,
Right?
so
Life is
so if
gonna be
you're
hard.
failing, that means something's holding you back. So do you go against your claim then?
No, when you fail, like,
You
it's
have
like
to then.
this is the thing where there could be multiple reasons why you're failing. If you are holding yourself back, right, then that's something that you could control. Right? That's something that you did to yourself. That's where
Do you think we can ask? Okay.
go ahead.
So do you think if someone, let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say it was someone born into poverty, parents been poor for generations because something very bad happened to their family and then the trauma just carried on. The system has been against them. They can't afford education, like a good education. Do you think that they're holding themselves back or the system is?
They're holding themselves back.
Be-
Here's my why I say that, right? In your view, right? The education we have, let's say hypothetically, I said this. One, you can work. Let's hypothetically, you can work a McDonald's job, earn a little bit of cash. You can earn a little bit of cash there. Save that money. Don't go out. Don't travel. Don't have fun. I'm kind of terrible, but don't spend your money. Save budget. Use your phone. There's like learn a craft, learn something. You can be apprentice for plumber, electrician, all these things, and then you could save money, right? Work hard, do shitty stuff, right? Pretty much like work. If you have 3 hours, get another job, find an extra job, right? McDonald's, Starbucks, whatever. All these menial labor jobs or whatever. All these terrible jobs. Save your money, every penny. Put it in a high interest account. Use YouTube, right? Frugal, be frugal. Don't eat, buy food at Dollar Tree, whatever. Okay, be extremely frugal. You can make it out of the mud.
Okay, the average based off a quick search, the average McDonald's salary is $27,000 a year, but a manager is about 30 at least. A manager is at 37K a year. So let's include things like housing, electrical bill, water bill, light bill, phone bill, and food. Do you seriously think how many years, like a rough guess, you only have $27,000 a year, but you're paying rent, buying food, paying for your phone that you want them to use YouTube, frugal, whatever else you said. They need food, they need clothes, they need the shoes. Like how with a rough guess, how long do you think that would take them with a McDonald's job, you say?
Take them to do what?
Achieve the life you just said.
Okay. First, it depends on what kind of life you're looking for. If you work at McDonald's, all these have multiple jobs, right? You can pay your way into, let's say, being a plumber, electrician. I'm not saying doing that for the rest of your life. Of course, you're not gonna get nowhere.
And to the guy in the comment section, the army comes with benefits. I don't think McDonald's give you discounts unless you're ordering from McDonald's. I don't think that. The army also houses you and gives you food. So, like, what's your point, dude? Like,
well, yeah, army is another way as well, right? Joining the
not
military.
everyone is eligible for the army.
I agree, but that's another way, right? So it's like I think you're boxing people too much, right? You're putting people in a box, and I agree, it's not an easy thing, right? It's an uphill battle, but I'd rather people try to go the uphill battle than just give up before even trying, right? And if people have your mindset, right, which is things are too hard, then if they think that already, they're not going to bother. So I think like I literally talk to black mothers, right? How I literally just talked to another black mother the other day, and she's telling me her son just doing nothing at home, just playing game and smoking weed. Nothing. It's like that's the thing where that's why I say it's more of a detriment, right, to the black community than the white man. Right? It's the mindset. Work hard, achieve something
But
better.
the white man created the circumstances that they're in, so I don't know.
No one. White man is not forcing a young black man for not working,
Let's get
for smoking weed, for
let's
playing
get back to my
games.
original point: how slavery created this financial gap that you're just trying to make it so easy to get out of. So, do you think slavery and Jim Crow still has impacts generally to today's society?
No.
Oh my! I can't do this. Then
I mean,
like,
you
then
gotta give me an
that's not
example.
true. Racism is just a clear example right there.
Okay,
When I say
you tell me,
generally, if it's taught in school, that's a general example of how it impacts society.
Show me how it's taught in school.
Wait, Jim Crow and racism and slavery is not taught in school.
No. I'm talking about being. It's like teaching history, yes, but how is it?
Right. There's a whole course about African American history.
Yes,
is that clear enough for you?
No, but how is it? Okay, how is it stopping people from achieving
That's
better
not
today?
I didn't say anything about nothing stopping anyone.
But you saying how's it
baseline.
how's it affecting people today? Right? Is that not what your argument is?
I said, do you think Jim Crow and slavery impacted the modern society generally in any way?
In any way? I think only mindset.
And I just told you. Oh, don't worry about it. Like, I don't know. Do you think racism exists against? Do you think that exists?
Racism does exist.
Right.
Okay.
Do you think that African American courses, like African American history courses, exist?
Yes.
So you don't think that's an impact?
How is it?
Wait, even the idea of race itself is an impact that was left, because race was created for slave masters to justify their kidnappings and their horrible actions, because since they deemed that black people were less than because they were black. That's how race was originated. So that's an example now of how it's still in society.
No.
I think you need to be a victim, honey. You do realize people in Africa were the ones signing them again. I never said a nationality, an ethnicity, or a race.
Yeah, I say ignore.
And then you're talking about the people in Africa. It does. Who started it though? And then y'all also say the people in Africa, like, we don't, like, it probably wasn't an indentured servant or something like that. And then the people in Africa still weren't practicing chattel slavery. They weren't cutting off genitals or raping their slaves. So
there's please don't do that. I mean, they've done plenty of horrendous things to their own slaves. There's literally genocides in Africa, right? So I mean, it's
in Ghana. Is that what you're talking about?
Huh?
Are you talking about Ghana and Libyan?
What was it? Rwanda?
I said, don't worry about it.
But I'm just focused on America, right? Again, I don't believe that it's affecting modern day black people today.
Oh my God! I just gave you an example of how the idea. I just gave you 3 examples.
It's all mindset. Literally, it's mindset, right? But yes, if you're shackled to the past, of course it's going to affect you.
So do you think no one's ever affected society?
What?
Has it ever affected society?
Yes, during those times. During Jim Crow, during slavery.
And when Jim Crow ended, it just everyone just stopped being racist.
No.
That's exactly right.
But let me say this, right? After, I'm not saying directly after, please, I'm not saying directly after, but after Jim Crow, right? You can't just, it's like legally nothing is holding people back. Now, yes, there are plenty of racist people still during Jim Crow and after that were stopping it. But that's why I'm saying today, right?
Wait, how long do you think?
Here's my example, right? We had a black president. We had more black mayors than ever, more black governors than ever, black police chiefs, black millionaires. I could give you countless examples of how black people are the second most politically powerful group in America.
Who's the first?
White people. But black people are the second most powerful politically.
Wait, what source is this?
There are more black people in our government than any other race besides white
Again,
people.
what source is this?
Okay.
So when you say government, it can be like the state level, like locally speaking, like the government is pretty big. But that doesn't just mean that it's black people in the Senate and
I'm
Congress
saying
that's
throughout
calling
our
shots
government,
24/7.
your city, my state, your state, all these, right? They have the second most political power, right? I mean, there's more black mayors than there's Asian mayors or Hispanic mayors, right? There's more black governors than, let's say, Hispanic or Asian, or whatever other racial group you want to say. I mean, please tell me what other racial group, can have more political power than the black community besides white people.
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Well, come on, it's like this is where we could give a logical guess, have a conversation, right? We don't need to have stats on everything because I'm not expecting you to give me stats, but we can have a logical guess. I mean, if you're honest, you would say, yeah, I do see more black mayors than, let's say, Asian mayors. Am I being dishonest? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
What am I saying? Being dishonest?
you're being a bit dishonest.
Example.
Oh, I can't remember, but it was something about racism.
Yeah, that it doesn't affect you today.
Oh my gosh, and you know that's not true though. But to get back to it though, we were talking about logical guesses here. Jim Crow ended in 1965. How long after do you think that the general population started employing black people? And when you think black people generally had equal rights, not equal rights necessarily. Well, how would I word this? When do you think that Jim Crow truly ended? Because we both agreed that even after it was stated to end, it didn't actually end. It was racism and systematic thingies were still implemented in society. So when do you think it truly ended that black people, I guess, had a fair shot, same as white people? It ended 1965.
I will probably say the 80s.
So 15 years.
Yeah.
The mid 80s, late 80s, so 1990.
Beginning of the 80s, right? Beginning of the 80s, we've seen more and more black people in. I mean, like more black people in many different positions.
Okay, so now we have to shorten the amount of years we give a black person to create to gap the financial gap. So we have a black man born in 1980s. We don't count his 18 years of age. So now we're in the 1990s. Yeah, 1998. So to today's modern age, what's today's date? So 1998. Let me make that take it out. Okay, 2026. So within 28 years, do you think the average Black American could have breached or could have conquered, whatever terminology you want to use, could have beaten the financial gap within 28 years?
Okay, first of all, it's how your metric is. I believe that more black people could have been middle class.
Again, that's you agree or you disagree?
And what's your financial metric? I'm not sure what your financial metric is. I believe that more black people could have been middle class. Could have been middle class.
So the average Black American within 28 years could have reached middle class.
Yes.
What's the
middle class in certain countries? I mean, in certain states, could be around about 70 to 100 grand. And I believe that 2-family households could accomplish that. I mean, 2-parent households could already accomplish that.
Well, again, the average Black. Black people have higher rates of foster,
I
what is
agree.
it called?
I mean, they have
And
higher
we
rates
have
of single
higher rates
motherhood.
of death penalties. And what else was it? It's three things I'm trying to say. Oh, the death, they, when compared to their white counterparts, they have a higher rate of the murder penalty. They also have a higher rate of incarceration, along with the higher rate of, what's that word? When it turns out they actually weren't guilty. What is it called? What is that word called?
Here's my
Oh, let's just say false accusations. They also have a higher rate of false accusations in crime, Black men. So again, not every Black household would have that privilege of a two-parent household.
I want to say that the criminal population of the Black community does not make up the whole Black community.
I agree with
Even if it's affected by the Black community, right? I believe the majority of Black people don't interact, or they're not having problems with police officers or the
and
system.
that's untrue.
By what?
Wait, you said the majority?
Yeah, they're not getting arrested, right? I believe they're more.
I just told you.
No, you gave me
that
the statistics for the ones that are. Tell me how many Black people are being arrested. It's not the majority of Black people. The majority of Black people aren't criminals. They're not dealing with the police officers. They're not dealing with drugs or murders and stuff like that, or even false accusations. The majority of Black people aren't dealing with police officers in a negative light, or even dealing with police officers at all. They're just regular citizens going everyday life. That's the majority. So I'm not equating the minority of Black people who deal with police officers to the majority of Black people, because I don't believe that most of them are, experiencing whatever the police system or the justice system. Right? They're going everyday life. Now, unless you could prove me wrong, that say that, yeah, majority of Black people are, being arrested or dealing with police officers, then I'll stand corrected.
No, I wouldn't say it's the majority, but I would still say that the loss of the minority will impact the economic state of the majority.
I don't really think so. The unproductive does not add to the productivity of the majority.
Wait, what did you say?
I don't believe the unproductiveness of the minority does add to the majority.
But it would.
How?
Because when we're talking
not,
about populations, and I brought up Black men being incarcerated at higher rates because you said a two-parent household. So when you're losing parents, the minority isn't having that minority of two Black parent households are missing a father that would clearly affect that they won't be able to make it to the middle class, like you said, right?
I would love, yeah, I agree. But
that's agreeable, right?
yes, I agree. But I would love for you to look up, because I've seen this, that there are more Black women than Black men who have children, right? So there are actually a lot of Black men.
Wait, what?
There are more Black women than Black men who have children. So what does that say? Is that a lot of these women are dealing with terrible men, or men that have multiple baby mamas, right? So the men that, this is the thing where there are good Black men out there. They're just not, they're not. So to say that, okay, I'm assuming that you're thinking that, okay, the you don't have two parent household because, let's say, the Black men are being arrested. Well, there are plenty of Black men that aren't being arrested, that are productive. They're not being chosen. Okay. Also, I honestly don't believe that we have such a high single mother rate in the Black community is because Black men are, like, the majority of these Black men are being arrested. No, probably the majority of them are not.
That would contribute to.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying the majority. I'm pretty sure the majority of them are just being terrible fathers, or just terrible people that don't want to be a part of a family, or don't want to get married, or don't want to be part of this, two-parent household. I think that's more of the majority. I think that's more of the problem.
So you think the majority of Black men don't want a marriage and they want to be POS fathers?
No. The majority of
that's what you said.
No, please listen. The majority of the men that these women choose, not because there are more Black women that have children than black men that have children. That says to you that a lot of these women are sharing baby fathers. Right? So a lot of these black men that do have kids, they have multiple kids by multiple women. There are plenty of black men who don't have kids.
I'm not really seeing the issue here. I mean,
The issue is that one, women are choosing bad men to not marry them, to not be a part of this family. Two, women have plenty of options with men that would marry them, would be a good father. They're not choosing those men. A lot of times they're choosing the men that have multiple baby mamas, right? Which also already showed them that they're terrible men to begin with, right? And that is more indicative of the problem in the black community than, let's say, the incarceration rate, right?
Oh my gosh, the incarceration. The baby mama epidemic is more worse than black men being incarcerated at a 5 times higher rate. That's the bigger issue here. We don't care that they're being falsely accused and that the police
never said that.
And that, but that's pretty much, when I sum it up, that's what I'm getting in this conversation right now.
That's wrong.
You don't care about that, but the main issue right now is the baby mama issue.
Okay, I can tell you the population for the amount of baby mamas compared to the population of men that are actually in prison. I'm pretty sure single mothers outnumber the Okay, well, if like that one person didn't want to join. I mean, she didn't like the conversation. All good, right? I was respectful. I wasn't trying to be rude. Self-made black. I love you. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry I couldn't answer your question or, talk to you because I was having a conversation with that young lady there. I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. You guys decide, right? This is the thing where it's not about when we're having a conversation. If we could change each other's mind, great. If we can't, it's about the audience, right? I'll give you my point of view. You give me your point of view. If we could change each other's mind, awesome. But it's more about the audience, right? It's more about if others think that, okay, you sound logical or I sound logical, that's how they base their ideas, right? So, but that's, yeah. Creek, thank you for being here. What's up? What's your disagreement?
Oh, I must have accidentally hit the wrong number. I'm just walking around trying to get my kids in order.
Oh, it's all
Sorry.
good. It's all good, brother. I promote a respectful conversation, right? I promote respectful conversation. So if you guys disagree, I'm always down to talk, right? I'm always down to talk. But yeah, I wanted to do this live today because tomorrow I'll be helping out my family for some stuff, right? So I won't be doing a live tomorrow on YouTube. I usually do a live, right? Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on YouTube, right? If you guys want to check out my YouTube channel, please check it out. Please support, help me out, right? But yeah, tomorrow I won't be doing a live, so I'm doing a live tonight. So if you guys have any opinions, different point of views, I'm always down to talk. Self-made. I don't have a guest right now. I mean, if you wanna, I could answer your views or your questions or whatever. I'm definitely down. I definitely understand what you mean, and I agree in most cases. For me, it's what we can do today. I agree. That's the thing. I said this before, right? I don't discredit the ugly history of America, the ugly history of the West, ugly history of white people's history. I don't discredit that. It's an ugly history, right? It's a history that we should all understand and know. What I'm saying is that the problem, right, with the black community today is they're shackled to it, right? Black people today, particularly, let's say, people online, right? Black people in real life are different, right? Black people in real life are drastically different than people online, right? People chronically online. They're drastically different. But black people today, right, online particularly, they are shackled to the past, right? This woman constantly talk about Jim Crow, constantly talk about slavery. Please tell me how slavery, how Jim Crow is affecting you today? Please tell me, because it's not. It's 100% not affecting you. Jim Crow, slavery is not stopping you from getting a job. It's not stopping you from saving, budgeting, investing. It's not stopping you, right, today. Jim Crow is not stopping you. And if you believe it is, you are the problem, right? If you believe racism, if you believe Jim Crow, if you believe slavery is stopping you from achieving more, you are the problem. Not the white man, not the government, not the system, whatever. You are the problem. I want young black men, young black women to not think that the white man is stopping me. Racism, slavery, Jim Crow is stopping me or shackling, it's like it's holding me back. It's not. You are holding yourself back, right? You are the problem. You are what's holding yourself back. If you break that mindset, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because it's not. Things in life are not easy. But if you work hard, either get an education or some form of education, right? Like I said, we have a deficit. Plumbers, electricians, construction workers, carpenters. Like we have a deficit of blue collar jobs. These are jobs that can make you 60 to 100K. These are jobs that can make you 60 to 100K. And we have a deficit of that, right? There's not enough people in those jobs. There's not enough people in this. We have a deficit of truckers. Those truckers can make, I've heard truckers make 80 to over 100K, right? We have a deficit in those jobs. I mean, no white man is stopping you from getting those jobs. No white man is stopping you from getting those educations. No, right? You can like in school, right? School is free. You can learn mathematics, science, all these stuff, right? You can learn them and go home and continue to learn them, right? And then get good grades, get good test scores, and hopefully get scholarships, whatever. No white man is stopping you from those. The only thing that's stopping you is yourself. That is the only thing. And if young black people was listening to her and had the mindset of her, no duh, they can't achieve anything, right? You got to think, why is it the Asian community, right, who are about like one generation deep, right? Asian community is about 1, 2, maybe 3 generations deep, and they are doing better than even the white people, right? Why are Asian families doing better than white families? Because we don't have mindsets like this. We know life is hard, right? But we work hard. We help out each other. A community, right? That's a community. We help out each other and we achieve better. That is the problem with so many, I don't know, with the black community today, right? That is the problem. That they're shackled to the past. At least the ones that are online. I think the ones at present, they lack financial education, they lack motivation, they lack the drive to do better. But the black people online today, okay? You drive a truck, my brother, amazing, right? You tell me yourself, are you making decent money? You got it. I mean, like, you will be the spokesperson for that. Are you not making decent money? I mean, like, and I've seen so many, we are lacking truck drivers, right? I've heard truck drivers are making almost 6 figures to more than 6 figures, right? And then that's down the road where you could create your own company. So nothing is stopping you, right? And I give so much credit for blue collar men or men that like grinding like that, right? So much credit. I respect you so much. Okay. We need to promote that, right? We need to promote that kind of work ethic. Work hard, grind. It's not gonna be easy, but stop blaming the white man. Stop blaming the white man. Stop being shackled to your history, to your past. Stop it. I'd rather young black men, young black women, stop doing that, right? Stop being shackled to the stupid past. Learn it, understand your past. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't do that, but don't be shackled to it. The white man, the system isn't holding you back. Only you are, okay? I'd rather young minorities know that than think like this woman, right? Than young minorities think like that woman, right? I'd rather they do that. 50K, bro, 50K, seriously. See, that's what I'm saying. Like the average young American have almost 0. They have 100 they have almost like $0 to $100 in their bank account, right? The average young Black American have almost $0 to $100 in their bank account. I mean, like, seriously. So, we got to do better. Life ain't easy, but we got to do better. I have 1 trademarks and 3 other. Look, my brother, look at that. You are the success. See, like that. Self-made Black, right? I have 1 trademark and 3 other coming soon. My brother, you are the example of why racism isn't the problem, why the white man isn't the problem, right? When I hear success stories, right? When I hear success stories, they are literally proof, right? They are proof of why, the white man isn't the problem, why the system isn't the problem, why the history, the slavery, Jim Crow isn't the problem. I'm not saying that we shouldn't learn it. I'm not saying we shouldn't understand it. History is important, so we don't repeat it, right? But being shackled to it is the problem, right? Being shackled to it is the problem. And after knowing that, America has the highest number of Black millionaires, what other country can do that, right? What other country is doing that? I believe that it takes almost all of Africa to compare. So America's amazing. America's amazing. So I agree. I see you generally care, unlike most. This is the thing, right? I don't care about the white man. I don't care about the white man. I don't know any white person in real life. I don't. I live in the Black community. I work around Black people. Okay. I interact with Black people. Hell, I have a Black baby mom, right? I've dated mainly Black women. I have I have Black friends. I don't care about the white man, right? But the problem is especially with the youth, you care so much about the white man is only hindering you, right? Particularly the Black people online, Black people on college campuses. You care so much about the white man, that is what's hindering you. Exactly. History is history, so we don't repeat it. Learn your history. Don't be shackled to your history. And we have so many young Black people, they're being shackled to their history. Literally, you just saw this conversation with this young woman, right? Literally just constantly bringing Jim Crow, constantly bringing slavery. I'm sorry, miss, you sound young. You're not, please, you don't know nothing about slavery and Jim Crow. It's not affecting you now, but you make it affect you, right? You make it affect you mentally. That is the problem. This is a problem where I rather, okay, young Black Americans look to someone like self-made Black as a role model, as an inspiration, then shackle themselves to the history, right, of Black America, right, of Black Americans. I just think that doesn't benefit them, right? It weakens them. So, that's my view. That's my view. I said this, right? I think the Black community is the coolest community around. I really do. I think the Black community is the coolest community around. I love Black people. I really do. All my life, most of my life, I prefer hanging out with Black people than even my own race, right? I prefer hanging out with Black people than even my own race. But when I see Black people struggle, it hurts me. And yet I see them struggle and then complain about, like I said, slavery, Jim Crow, instead of actually knowing your problem. It hurts me because that doesn't help. That's not going to help you. So it's my view. I mean, if you don't like it, I'm willing to talk about it. I'm willing to have a conversation about it. Crazy thing is, I admire white people, Asian and other races for collectively progressing. This is a thing where we can learn from each other, right? In today's age, we can learn from each other. Hating each other, right? I'm sorry. This is how I view America, right? It's the blending, right? We are different for a reason, but learning from each other is what makes us amazing. We can seriously, how Asian people dance and rap and shit. We learned that from the Black community. how Asian people could be even cool today, that is us learning from the black community. All right? That is us learning from the black community. I give black people credit. Right? Asian people learn to be cool thanks to the black community. I'm gonna be straight up honest. Right? Black Asian people learn to be cool thanks to the black community. All right? Korean people would not be cool, right? Wouldn't be so cool and popular without the black community. I give them credit. But the problem is, I don't think the black community is learning from others. They don't want to learn from other people. They're so insulated, which I think is a detriment. I think that's a detriment to them because they're insulated, yet they're also individualistic. There's no black community anymore. Right? I think that's sad. So, I think that's sad. To be honest, I think the black community would benefit from learning how to be a community from the Asian community, how to be a family. Because there was a time where, like, this young lady couldn't accept this fact, right? During Jim Crow, the black community was growing economically. During Jim Crow, the black community had the most marriages. They had the most marriages out of all communities, even the white community, right? They were marrying at a higher rate than the white community, right? Black people during Jim Crow were marrying at a higher rate than all communities, right? White communities weren't even marrying at the same rate. Now they are at the bottom of every list. Lowest marriage rates. They are low economically, right? They make the lowest out of two family incomes, right? A family they make the lowest family income. It's just, those stats gotta tell you for something, right? There's a reasoning, and I agree. There's no collective agreements, right? There's no community anymore, and I don't know, self-made black, right? It's the matriarch. Bring back the patriarch in the black community. Bring back the patriarch in the black community. Black men should be leading the black community. I think it's disgusting that we have black women to lead the black community. Black women are leading the black community to its ruins. And we're seeing that. In the last couple of decades, we're seeing the success or lack thereof of women's leadership. Bring back black men leadership in the black community. When black men were leading the black community, they were at their top. Like I said, during Jim Crow, it was a patriarchal, right? During and before Jim Crow, it was a patriarchal community. Black men were leading that community. Guess what? It was on the rise. Guess what? It had the highest marriage rates. Now that black women are leading the black community, there's no community, high single mothers rates, low marriage rates, high divorce rates. Yeah, black women are leading it to its downfall. So bring back the patriarch. That's something the black community should learn from the Asian community, right? The Asian community is a patriarchal community, plain and simple. The Asian community is a patriarchal community. We ain't gonna listen to that BS feminist shit, right? The Asian community, we're not gonna listen to that BS feminist shit. Now, the Asian community, they love their women, right? They don't mistreat their women like that. So it doesn't mean that, it's a patriarchal, so we mistreat our women. You're stupid. Patriarchal community doesn't mean that that they automatically mistreat their community. That's ridiculous. Treat their women. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. All right, so it doesn't seem like anyone wants to join on the TikTok. It is what it is, right? But thank you guys for being here. I'll probably end the live. But self-made, thank you for being here, right? Thank you for stopping by. Sorry guys, I couldn't shout you out. Red Door, I love you, my sister, right? It's a shout out. Thank you for being here. I love you. Thank you for showing up. I know Laughing Man was here. Zuzeb. Zuzeb, thank you for stopping by. Akron still don't. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, but we don't need to. This is a thing where here's my thing. Okay, you can speak facts without being a jerk. Right? I don't need to shit on black people to speak facts, which I will never do. I will never shit on someone that I'm speaking facts with. I will say this. I don't hold back my criticism, right? I don't hold back my criticism of the black community, but I'm not gonna be a jerk. I'm not gonna be an asshole, right? While I'm spitting facts, right? I'm not gonna put people down. TBD, thank you for being here, my brother. Omni, I love you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Laughing Man, thank you guys for being here. Red Door, my sister, I love you. All right, guys, you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. Like I said, tomorrow I won't be on live. Yes. Thank you, self-made. Please subscribe if you guys could. Please subscribe. Please check out my other videos, right? If you're on TikTok, please check out my YouTube videos. But yeah, I love you guys. Hope you guys have a good night. All right. Hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend. I'll probably do another TikTok live stream on Sunday. I'm loving these debate formats. So bring it on. I'm probably gonna do a live stream on Sunday. So we'll do that one then. You guys are amazing. I love you guys.